Hi, I'm Mike Marsh. On the 19th of June 2025, I will embark on a 10-day expedition to climb Mt Kilimanjaro in Tanzania, the tallest freestanding mountain in the world, which rises majestically, 19,341 feet at the eastern end of Africa's Great Rift Valley. It is known to be both a physically and mentally extremely demanding challenge. So why are you doing this? I hear you all say. Well, it's to raise money for the Motor Neurone Disease Association, MNDA, which provides much-needed care and support for those people living with this terrible disease, including a close friend of my wife and I, who has a very aggressive form of the illness. Whilst I take on this challenge gladly to help those living with motor neurone disease, MND, I must admit to having some trepidation in respect of the altitude sickness, which is indiscriminate in terms of health and fitness. That is, you either get it or you don't. However, I have been training hard for months in terms of long hikes and running around my village with a weighted backpack. I also have a final training trip planned, which comprises of walking up 15 Lake District peaks in the first week of June, so this should give me every chance of success, altitude sickness permitting. The challenge is being hosted by a specialist expedition company, and it is a completely self-funded trip with every penny of sponsorship going to MNDA. We will climb high and sleep low for the first few days, exposing ourselves to increasing altitude before eventually making the final push on summit night. Rising from camp at midnight and making the long and arduous trek to the summit in sub-zero temperatures, minus 15 degrees centigrade, to hopefully reach Uhuru Peak at sunrise around 6 a.m. To those of you that don't know, MND affects motor neurons, which are responsible for carrying messages from the brain to the muscles, enabling movement, speech, swallowing, and breathing. These neurons gradually die, leading to a loss of communication between the brain and muscles, resulting in muscle weakness, wasting, and eventually paralysis and death. There is no cure. Like many people, my only exposure to this horrible disease was via the prominent scientist Stephen Hawking, who lived for 55 years with the condition. However, the average lifespan after diagnosis is between 2 to 3 years, which is a sobering thought. So wish me luck. And if you're inclined to do so, please consider donating a few pennies to this fantastic cause. It would be much appreciated. This is the link